Who is the boss? This is obviously a TV show from the 80s that many of us grew up with. And I'm asking this question today because I think that this is one of the questions that we as EMDR clinicians in private practice forget to ask ourselves, or we forget what the answer is. And so today I want to talk about what to do when you forget who's the boss. For those of you who don't know me yet, my name is Cambria Evans. I am the teaching and learning EMDR consultant, and I am in my office in San Jose, California, where I have a intensive only private practice, and I'm offering EMDR consultation for my fellow clinicians. I did a really amazing thing I want to share with you before we kind of dive into today's topic. I have created something that has never been done before, that does not exist anywhere else. I have a new program that I am launching this fall that I'm super excited about. And it is all the things that I know, all the things that I teach and offer in one place. It is the consultation program. And if you're interested, I would encourage you to go ahead and go onto the ZeroDisturbance.com website. We are taking applications on a rolling basis, and enrollment ends August 30th. And we are combining EMDR clinical consultation with all the things I talk about in this podcast: intensives, practice building, adjunct intensive EMDR, high value offerings in your practice so that you can go beyond this idea of being full as your business goal. So looking forward to being able to work with and support all of you in that 8-month program beginning in September of this year. So who's the boss? So I'm going to tell you 5 people or things that are not your boss, because we all know, right, that you are the boss of your private practice. But I have experienced and witnessed, as I'm doing consultation with consultees about their businesses and their practice building, I have seen this, I have done this, giving away my power as the CEO of my life, as the CEO of my business that I create to serve me first, then other people. So I'm going to tell you today, people who are not your boss. And hopefully this feels helpful to you should you forget. Number 1, your EMDR consultant is not your boss. Think about this. You pay your EMDR consultant to teach you things, okay? Unfortunately, a lot of EMDR consultants only teach clinical acumen, only teach clinical skills in EMDR. They don't teach business building. They don't kind of pull back the curtain and say, here's how I run my business that's really successful. I'm going to talk about money. Like, typically, it's just clinical stuff, which is fine, right? They're following a mandate from Emdria. But your consultant, who you give money to, is not your boss, okay? Let me share a quick story. So I was working with somebody long ago who was teaching me clinical EMDR, and got to this interesting point in our relationship where this person started to tell me feedback about my marketing, feedback about my business ideas, and all the feedback, by the way, was negative. It was shaming, it was negative, it was this tone of like, how dare you? You haven't served your time for decades to like be at this place, to be able to do what you're doing. And what I needed to remind myself in this moment, in this relationship, was my EMDR consultant is not my boss. If I don't like what someone's saying to me, or somebody can't get behind me and all of the business goals I have or dreams that I have for my life, and has these really limiting ideas about who I can and can't be in relation to that person's not my boss. Bye. I've seen so many posts on Facebook about people who are struggling with their consultant relationship, saying things like, well, I really love this clinical framework and my consultant doesn't like it, right? Or I really want to do this, but my consultant says blah, blah, blah. Your consultant's not your boss, okay? Number 1, if it's not a good fit for you, leave. If it was a good fit at one time, beautiful. Appreciate that and move on. But your consultant is not your boss. Okay, makes sense? Number 2, Emdria is not your boss, okay? I've seen so many people building their business models around EMDR requirements, which is not wrong. But that's as far as people get, right? I see these consultants kind of set up this system where you come and have your consultees and you give them their hours and you grind them out. And it's like an assembly line. And it's not wrong, okay? But EMDR is not your boss, right? EMDR is not creating the mandate for your business and your life. You are doing that. And a lot of us get lost when somebody has more authority than us, or they feel more powerful or more knowledgeable or older than us. Let me tell you about older. I live in Silicon Valley. Older is not always better, okay? Older has some wisdom, but older can also be traditional and outdated, okay? Innovative at whatever age. Innovative is what we want to strive for, okay? But EMDR is not your boss. Make sense? Number 3, insurance companies are not your boss. I have heard so many people telling me, oh, well, my insurance company contract has me at this rate, and so this is what I'm going to make. Okay, well, your insurance company that you've contracted with is not your boss, right? You get to determine your own value, your own rate, and if you're worth more than $100 a session, bye, don't be on insurance panels anymore, right? Because those insurance companies are big and powerful, and they might feel safe, and they might give you a big flow of clients so that you get to be full. I don't even know if full feels good, actually. But the insurance company is not your boss, okay? You are your boss. You create the mission statement, the values, the culture, everything, the brand of your company that belongs to you. Potential clients and current clients are not your boss. I had a woman on the phone the other day in a consultation with me, and I told her my hourly rate for intensives, and she gasped. And then she rate shamed me, y'all. She was like, I have never heard of a therapist charging so much money for this. And I was like, okay, I guess we're not a good financial fit, right? Because this person that I've never met before who's coming to me for support is not my boss, right? I am the CEO of my company, and I determine my business structure. I determine my high value offering prices and rates. I determine what my time and my energy is worth. I have decided that my time, right, is going to be charged on overall value, okay? And I can do EMDR more efficiently and faster than I've ever done it because I've been doing this for many, many years. I've done, over 5,000 EMDR sessions. And so I have higher value, right? So this client is not my boss, right? I have to remind myself, because a lot of us get shaky when we get rate shamed, right? And sometimes we get rate shamed by other therapists on Facebook groups, which is ridiculous, y'all. Please, we have to stop that. Clients are not your boss, okay? If you have a client, and this has all happened to us, a client comes to you and says, well, I'm going to need to see you now in the evenings or the weekends. I'm sorry, you don't get to determine my schedule because you're not my boss, right? Now, when we talk about it in this kind of language, it's very clear, isn't it? Right? But as I'm saying this to you, I imagine you can think of lots and lots of examples where these things have come up for you and you felt the inside of your body get a little flush, a little shaky, and maybe get a little unsure, okay? But what I love about this question of who's your boss and who's not your boss, it's clarifying, right? I don't care if you take a Post-it note and put it on your computer monitor or next to your phone and write who's your boss when these challenges come towards you, okay? So the last category I'll share with you is your parents or your primary attachment figures are not your boss, okay? We have been given an NC and a PC sheet, okay? I want you to pull out that sheet as your homework after you watch this video. I want you to go through the negative cognition list, and I want you to circle every single negative cognition that was given to you by your parents or primary caregivers, okay? And I want you to tell yourself, these messages from these people are no longer part of my life because these people are not my boss, okay? And if that feels confusing for you, I want to invite you to think about doing your own EMDR work, Okay, because what I have been told coming up and what has been helpful for me to pass on as wisdom to other people is if you can't get to the place that you want your clients to get to, right? You can't be there to show them where they're going and have gone through that and done your own work. Nothing you do with a business coach or practice building group, none of that stuff's really going to matter at the end of the day, because the most important thing you can do is to make sure 100% that you are clear in your mind and your body and your emotions, that you are the boss of you and your business that you build to serve you, right? And therefore, all of these other people are not your boss. Okay? So I hope this feels helpful. I hope you just take this in. Watch this over and over again if you need to soak it up, okay? Because it's so important. I wish I could go back in time to myself 10 years ago, 5 years ago, and really soak this in. And you get to do that now. So like I mentioned, if this is like jiving with you, if this feels exciting for you, the consultation program is now available on the Zero Disturbance website, ZeroDisturbance.com. And so excited to work very closely and alongside this cohort of people for 8 months beginning in September of this year on building your clinical EMDR acumen and your private practice. So I look forward to hopefully connecting with you and supporting you there. And in the meantime, stay healthy, be safe, and take care. Bye-bye.